Welcome into another edition here of Sports Junkies at RacinSportsZone.com. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from 105.7 FM, The Fan in Milwaukee. Co-host the Wendy's Big Show weekday afternoons from 2 until 6. Alongside me, the one and only Gery Woelfel here of the Racine Journal-Times. Time to talk a little preview, I guess, of the NBA draft. In this video, we'll do point guards. And before we get into the actual college players, let's talk about the Bucs situation at point guard as it currently exists. Michael Carter-Williams, obviously the starting point guard. Tyler Ennis, Jerry Bayless, all a part of the reserves. Gutierrez, obviously, I guess technically is going to be there. I don't know if he'll be there next year, but he's technically there right now. That's the lineup of point guards. I can't imagine the Bucs are looking at a point guard in this draft.
Well, imagine that. They will. and they have to be honest with you. Well, first of all, we don't want to blow this up right away to start off this program, but I reported late last year that the Milwaukee Bucks may dangle Michael Carter-Williams before the draft to move up. And I have heard that as recently as a week ago that his name is out there. They have not contacted every team in the league, all 30 teams, but apparently they have let it be known to some teams that they're willing to move him. Now, if that's the case, point guard is definitely in play, and depending upon how far up they move. But if they do stay at 17, the guy that they have to focus on is Jerry Grant from Notre Dame. Everybody tells me he's from 15 to 18 in that range. So, if they feel like he's the best player on the board, if they feel unsure about their backup point guard, let's say hypothetically that they keep Carter-Williams, he could be the guy. But I would not dismiss it. I think that's a possibility.
D'Angelo Russell is rated number 1 at the point guard position from Ohio State. Everybody assumes he's a top 5 pick, maybe a top 3 pick.
Maybe a top 2 pick.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities because the Lakers are in the 2-hole, and they have had an incredible tradition of centers. I mean, you go right down the line, starting with George and Mikan when they were in Minnesota.
Yep.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Robert Sacre.
Yeah, Robert Sacre. Man, come on. I love Robert Sacre, but don't put him in that line, man.
But the problem is, so I mean, again, you would think they would take Towns or they would take Okafor, but what I'm hearing from some people is that they want to take the best player, and with the way the game is played now, it's up and down, it's perimeter oriented, that they would seriously consider Russell. I don't think they will because Mitch Kupchak is still an old school guy, so I would say it's going to probably be Okafor or Towns. But if it's going to be somebody else, it's going to be Russell.
Number 2 is Emmanuel Mudiay, I believe is how you say his name. I've been calling him Mudiay this whole time. Mudiay is the guy that I really liked coming into this draft. Now, we've seen a lot of him.
Are you friends with Larry Brown?
I've seen, no.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen a lot of him as far as videos and stuff that you can see on the internet. I really like him, man. I think he translates really well to the NBA. The only thing I don't know about him is I don't know what kind of attitude he has. I don't know what his drive is like. So I don't know all that stuff. Now, coaches and scouts, they get to know that part of him.
Right, exactly.
Outside looking in, I don't know. But just based on talent and skill, I love this kid.
Yeah, he's a top 4, top 6 guy. I mean, he's not going to go any farther than 6. Although, having said that, stranger things have happened on draft day. But the consensus is he's a top 4 guy, the second best guard behind Russell. Nobody has him going first. Nobody has him going second, but they all have him, in the next tier.
And I just read earlier today, I think it was Chris Sheridan, said that the Knicks are probably going to move out unless Okafor falls to them, and they're going to try and explore a way to get more draft picks in the future because they're so screwed on draft picks. But, man, I like Mudiay. You put him with the Knicks and Carmelo, that gives him another score. It gives him something that can run the offense. If he's there, I just stay pat and I take him. I'm not trying to worry about draft picks.
The only problem with that is there's tremendous pressure right now on the Knicks to start winning now. I mean, Derek Fisher was talking about how this thing can be turned around within a year, okay?
But that's stupid.
It is stupid.
But that was dumb on his part to even say such a thing.
Exactly. But there's pressure on Phil Jackson like he's never felt before in his life. I mean,
yeah.
Phil Jackson has had a charmed life, but all of a sudden he's finding out, hey, he's seeing what the other side of the world is living in. And they want to win. They want to take that next step up. If they bring in Mudiay, that's not going to happen. There's going to be a learning curve for him. So would they take Porzingis?
And we'll get to Porzingis in another video when we get to that position. But I'll just say it.
Yeah.
Cameron Payne is a guy that exploded onto the scene here late in the draft process. I think when you're looking at my drafts coming in, nobody had Cameron Payne going this high from Murray State, is it? Murray State, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now all of a sudden, he's just blowing up draft boards. What happened?
Well, you know what? Prior to the draft, I was just going on the internet, and I looked at some Cameron Payne stuff because I was curious. I never saw him play before. And I immediately fell in love with this guy. And I'm thinking, okay, Damian Lillard is the guy. And not that their games are similar, but I could see this guy shooting up. And I was teasing some of the Bucks officials down in Chicago. I said, how's my guy Cameron Payne? And they were real tight-lipped because at that point, I think they were seriously thinking about taking Cameron Payne at that spot. And then when Cameron Payne said he was not coming to Milwaukee to work out, you knew right away that
was the end of that.
Yeah, his stock soared. Now, having said that, there's some people that think he could go as high as 6 in Sacramento because they want a point guard. But if he doesn't go there, he could drop. I mean,
there's some rumors about Ty Lawson maybe going to Sacramento in a trade as well.
Yeah, thanks to me in part.
Yeah?
No, that's been out there. George is a huge Ty Lawson
fan. Ty Lawson is a huge George Karl fan.
Absolutely. So the only problem is if egos get in the way between the front offices and say, hey, we don't want to do this because it was George's guy. The Nuggets are receptive to moving him, and the Kings definitely want him.
No question. We got to wrap this up. But one more guy in the top 5 that's expected on the first round, Tyus Jones from Duke, coming out this year. I don't know if he's the offensive threat of the other guys maybe that we're talking about, but more of a true point guard maybe.
Yeah, he'll probably be the 5th point guard taken. I've been told that Dallas is all over him at 21. There's some teams that like him. The big rap on him is his lack of height.
Right.
When he going into the pre-draft camp, everybody had him like in the top 15, but all of a sudden he measured out, I think, at 6 foot or whatever, and that was a killer for him. So
he is Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. Thanks for checking out our preview of the point guard position. We'll have our draft show coming up on 105.7 The Fan coming up on Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock. We'll go pick-by-pick coverage all the way through. Gery Woelfel will be checking in from Bucks Draft headquarters as well, so make sure to tune us in on either 105.7 on the FM dial or AM 1250 on the AM dial coming up on Thursday night starting at 6. Enjoy the rest of your day here at RacinSportsZone.com.